Nominees here. My job is always to be here for you guys and to bless you. Okay, so good morning or good morning for you all, happy people. Today is Monday, October 24th, 2022 for you. Everything in this video is not financial investment or trading advice of any kind. Everything in this video is just for entertainment, educational, and comedic purposes only. Bear in mind that I eat red crayons for breakfast. Please be especially aware of trading leverage during these high market volatile times, and never trade more than you could afford to lose. As we begin our video today, we're going to be doing a recap hunt. So that means that we're going to be applying some of the skills, but I'm not going to apply my full skills. I'm actually going to slow down to help you guys follow along with some of the cryptos. I hope to be able to at least hunt through about 5 today, giving some good analysis on different options. And we're going to start with some of the ones we were already previously looking at. Looks like about last week or so. I pulled up this chart called ALBT, and as I was pulling it up, oddly enough, in the background it says ALBT.
Maybe Siri was listening to it.
I think Siri was listening to me. Yeah, Melody's like, Siri must have been listening to me, and she pulled up this.
She's always listening.
That's so scary. Melody's like, she's always listening. Weird. Yeah, I know. Just like if you have Facebook or something, that thing's always listening to you. Just say something like, "Oh, I feel like I need a new toaster," and then you'll start seeing ads for a toaster.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is really weird. I was one time I was like, "Man, I want some," and I said like the name of a restaurant, and I kept seeing that restaurant. I never go to that restaurant, but it was I don't want to say it because then Michelle's gonna laugh at me.
What? What, the burger?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, that one. What Whataburger? What is it? I say it wrong. I say it wrong. Don't curse me. Don't. Dude!
Why are you shaking that?
ALBT has came into some help. We popped up here on October 17th. Okay, on October 17th, we popped up and over, and we're sitting exactly on this line. Now, this is the same map since October 12th, since October 10th. Okay? Before that, when we crossed over this area here, there was a more micro sword cut, a more smaller sword cut, and it looks like we had some very short but round structure into this area. And then price has started to round up and challenge the next area one more time. See, this was the resistance line. It challenged that first, then came back down. Then it challenged it again, but this time it popped up, and now it's sitting on top of that. So this is a healthy sign for ALBT. This is an area of health. Now, if you look at some of these areas, this area in red is based on these two energy centers here. And for those of you guys who are wondering, yes, this is a type of accelerated line. Okay, I'm going to give you some main points on ALBT. So if you want to just know that you don't have to draw along with this one if you want to, but you can. This chart will be updated on my website for today after class. It'll be on the image notes. But at the very top of this run, these are the cores. So this is the meat of the area for these tops here and here. And as we see this line, it is a type of key angle that can give us a lot of information. We already examined this chart pretty thoroughly on October 10th. But this line goes out, and as price was going out, it's going down so fast that now price is accelerating down. So we now have to start drawing some new lines on these charts. And some of those lines you can draw are from here to here. So if you start drawing those areas at the core, you're going to see from here to here, there's a line that you can draw. And that line was verified right here on April 4th of 2022. So price was rounding into this area. That is bullish. That is bearish. As we round into this area, coming right up to this point, that's bearish, and then we started going down. If we broke out above that area, that would be some health that came in the market. But we didn't. We just kind of popped into this area just like this, coming back down, and the run was continuing. As we started examining this whole segment here, we're looking for price to start crossing over these areas, because when it starts crossing over these areas, These are more of a very a more powerful type of energy. Now, if you look at this as a curve, okay, if you look at this little curve, you got this nice sharp point here, but and that makes it a little bit wonky. But for the most part, price is kind of curving right here. Okay, look at that. The next big curve that occurs is from here to here. Okay, so as price is rounding, you can see that the curve is accelerating. It's getting larger and bigger and stronger. So therefore, the line that is on this point would be a big deal. And it would be a big deal when price crosses over these points. Another point to remember is that even when price came way down here, it came all the way up to this line again, to these lines. And it could not break above these lines, and it came right back down. So now we're keeping an eye still on this red line, and here's where we're at. So now looking at the story in a more complete manner, what do you think ALBT is telling us at the moment? Any thoughts? What is ALBT telling us now that we look at a more comprehensive picture of the story?
And it's healthy.
It's starting to tell us that, yes, that's right, that there's health coming into the market. And it may even be bullish. There is trades that are and money that's available on the table for the taking. The next resistances are going to be somewhere along this track. And the distance from here to there, for some people, may be something they want to take. So they may want to take a trade up to these resistance areas. Now, if price goes up tomorrow, just in a big way, just if it did, the price is closer to 10 cents. Current prices for ALBT are 7 cents, 0.07, that's 7 cents. So there's potential all the way up for 10 cents. But the danger of that is that as time goes on, this line is still going down. So if time goes by for a long time, there's less money coming on. So depending on how long it takes for price to come up and challenge the next resistance, it's every day that passes by, there's less and less money on the table because the resistance line that can knock it down gets lower and lower. Okay, and that happens sometimes. Okay, that happens. It's when you start getting into prices and prices and I'm going to give you a quick example. It's when those healthy points start going upwards like this and prices breaking above that, the potential for money is greatly increased. Okay, and this is just a quick example. The more time goes by, price can rise and rise and rise and rise and rise and just keep going higher and higher as long as it doesn't hit its resistances too quickly. And this is why some type of in some of the market manipulations, they don't want to raise prices too high, too quick, because then everyone else starts getting this emotional idea. This is where the greed kicks in. They start saying, "Ooh, I'm going to take profits." You know, trend lines are based on human emotions. They say that the markets are unpredictable, but it's very surprising how predictable human emotions are. And so anytime you see markets shown in candlestick form without much manipulation or external, factors, the pure markets, the pure candles themselves represent trends of human emotion. And that's really all they are. They're just the various emotions of how people feel. And that's what creates the trends in price. So as long as price is going up steady, and we're not hitting a resistance line, price should continue to rise when we're in healthy areas. So that's the only caveat that you really should know, because the trend lines, when they start going down like we are right now, you can see that the longer it takes, the less money's on the table. But later on, when we start getting into some very positive health, you're going to see more and more money on the table. But we haven't had a bull market in a while. Okay, almost since November, there's been very, very little money to be made longer term. There's been times to get in a trade, take some quick profit, and just walk away. A lot of danger in the markets. Okay, a lot of danger. Okay, but let's go back to ALBT because there's some health that's came into ALBT. if we're seeing the stock market, the stocks having a big crash very soon, then we know within about a week or so the cryptocurrencies should be greatly affected, and so we'll have some emergency meetings about that. But for right now, we are still improving our skills. We are still looking for some potential opportunities. So now we have here on the daily chart that there's more likely we're going to go up. So let's do something else before we move on to the next crypto, which we're going to look at the stock market one more time, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. But before we do that, let's go down and start looking at this in a more comprehensive way. I want to pull up our signals first, and then we're going to go from a daily, and then we're going to chop it in half and go to a 12-hour, and then a 6, and then chop that in half into a 3, and then chop it into a 1-hour. We're going to look all the way down the spectrum to see if we see any signals or even any other further patterns we might look at. All right. So I don't really do this too often with you guys, but I think it's fun to do it every now and then. It's a great learning opportunity. Okay, our last bullish order block signal was here. Let's go to a 12-hour. Here's a bearish order block on the chart here, coming down here. Let's go to a 6-hour. All right, still bearish. 3-hour. And a 1-hour. All right. Now on the 1-hour chart, you can see that this is where some of the bullishness started. The bullishness on these indicators are pointing towards this line, which is great. That's fantastic because this is our map point. We're expecting price to bounce at this point, and that's also where our order block signal came in. So that's interesting. So that might be a sign that price this is more of a safer place to get in. There's no signals on the longer term, and I'm not looking for shorting signals based on my map. So I don't really care that the 12-hour chart and the larger charts are telling me to sell. I'm not really concerned with those sell signals because I'm now in a zone on my map where I'm specifically looking for bullishness. So I'm looking for the buy signals. That's the type of signals you might be looking for. So now we're in a zone where there's health. Okay, and because there's health, we should be looking for those buy signals. And on the 1-hour chart, close to current prices, we're coming up from our last signal. We don't have any other sell signals or exit signals right now, but from our last signal here in these prices, this is the prices you want to get for the buy signal. So for those of you guys who are trading something shorter term, you may want to look at ALBT for at least prices closer to maybe 10 cents. So you may want to experiment, take a small bag, a very small bag, and there might be a trade there for you, okay? For me, I would feel safe enough to take a trade on ALBT. Okay, not long term, not long term. This is just short term. All right, now that we did that, let's look at, let's go into something else. Let's get into the stock market, and then I'll get into your request. If you have requests, please put them in the chats. Today we're going to be hunting. You don't, it's a good thing, no, written, okay.
Can do the manifold.
Fold, yes, superfood, we can look on fold, yes, we'll look at fold, okay? So let's jump into the DJI. Thank you, Melody. And I just want to look for that signal I'm looking for the market to go up to a certain point. And this is, I'm looking for the candles to look like this in the next 2 days. And our first day, we already came up yesterday. Which was today. We came up right to the sword cut area, and I'm gonna hide this so you can see it. Oh no, we didn't. No, we didn't. Not yet. Sorry, that was my drawing. This is that candle. It's almost at the sword cut. Okay. All right, I'm looking for the candles to come up to sword cut, possibly spike up here and stop back here. That's what I'm expecting for the stock market. If we can come right up here to this area and stop right here, especially if we round over, I'm going to be very, very bearish in the stock market. Very soon, I'm going to be very, very bearish for the stock market. Okay, so you guys hear it. I'm letting you know what to expect. I'm expecting prices to stay below around 31,401, this area. Spiking above, hitting close to 32,877, coming back down to 31,401. When it rounds over, I'm going to be looking to go down. Okay, a stock market dump in prices. Okay, closes below these areas would also get us to potential very, very low areas, and potentially some of these areas over here are closer to 26,199. Okay, so that's a very strong possibility. Let's see the King of Glory coming down with clouds of fire. So is it the 24th for you guys?
Yes.
Okay, it is there. Okay, so I'm free to write that. Now we're gonna do a new build. We're gonna look into something Superfood was asking for, and it's called fold.
Manifold.
Manifold?
Yeah, fold.
Is it a stock Superfood?
Pinance. Manifold pinance.
No, but it's a crypto.
Okay, a crypto.
$34.
$34.
34.88.
4 days ago, decreasing. Fold. Here's one crypto. Is it FOL? No, that one's FOL. Is it FOL?
No, it's fold. F-O-L-D.
Okay.
Here.
Hmm?
But this.
Fold short sale. That's an index market. That's a stock. That's a stock. That's a stock. That's a crypto. FOL. Folder protocol. Folder. Is it on the? Is it a wrapped coin?
Fold finance.
Okay.
That's the full name.
Oh, here we go. Fold USDC Manifold Finance.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, on Uniswap. Okay, network. Okay, so let's take a look at this coin. The whole earth shakes. All right. Fairly new. It seems August, since around August 4th. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes. That's part of early crypto investor newsletter.
Wonderful. Okay, so this coin, wow, was trading all the way here at $102. Now, I'm going to use this as a great example of what we spoke about in our lesson number 2 of my lesson series. Okay, so I'm organizing some of the tutorial lessons and re-going over them, but now in a very specific order. I think it's just a great way to, it's a great way to help you guys get some organization about my education. There's the methodology of how I trade. And here we have accelerating curves. It's very also interesting. You got that little roller coaster thing right before the bottom too. But we got these accelerating curves. This is our first curve. This is our second curve. You can also look at these as energy centers, 1 and 2. Okay, and I'm gonna show you some things about this. We're gonna take I'm gonna take a screenshot of this, and I'm gonna draw on here. Hosanna, Hosanna. Okay, so Hosanna in the highest.
Did you change the Zoom audio device?
Did I change the Zoom audio device? No, I did not.
Okay.
You can leave it on Mac Mini speakers.
It's because I use it.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm clicking on this picture, and then I'm going to go up to my markup tool, and then I'm going to pull up these tools here. I'm going to grab the ruler, and I am now going to connect those big curves that I drew. And just as a quick reminder, here's how price is flowing. Okay, it looks like this. But what I'm doing right now is I'm going to connect those tops and grab that information, both at core and wick. Now, this is a great example for me to show you how the energy centers work. So of this area, of these clusters of candles, this is the top of the energy center. Of these clusters of candles here, this is the top of the energy center. Okay. Of those candles, this is the bottom of the energy center. Now, we're going to get specific about these. Okay, so in a very specific way, the highest core in this candle, when we're connecting these 2 points together, if we're trying to connect these 2 points together, the highest core that I can draw without crossing over any of the other cores is right here, this candle right there where I drew. Okay. That's the highest core. And I'm just going to write this off to the side. CR. That means that if I'm drawing a line from these candles to these candles, if I were to draw the candle, and let me make it thicker so you guys can see this. If I were to draw from here to these sets of candles here, if I'm not drawing and hitting this one, if I'm hitting like this core right there, then what I'm doing is I may think I'm doing it right, but I'm actually not doing it right, because I'm actually cutting through all these candles. I'm cutting right through them, and that's not correct. So the goal when drawing lines and connecting these lines is to connect them without crossing over any of the other candles in that cluster. So don't mind any of the strings right now. We're just talking about the meat of the candles, what I call the cores. The highest cores from these 2 points together, and that highest point is actually this core right there. Okay. That is the highest core in this area. So that's where I want to draw the line. Okay. And I'm just going to type that in real quick, because I think this is just a great learning opportunity. These are the highest cores in these clusters that I can draw connecting these 2 points. Okay, so this is, if you're drawing these points, you're trying not to cross over any of the other cores. That's the goal when drawing trend lines, okay? So this is just a little quick one. The goal is to not cross over the other candle meat, or the other candle cores, and I'll put in parentheses the meats of the candles. Okay. So just as a quick reminder, this is how we're going to do it. Okay. Now I'm going to draw a line, now connecting these both, and you can see that when we connect these points, we got a very specific angle, and that angle has verification. So this verification is telling us, hey, generally price, this is the right, we're on the right path. You can see that price came up to this line and came down. Okay, likewise, this could be a verification. This could be a verification of this, but this is the highest in this cluster. So I'm looking at the overall primary energy, and this is what I'm drawing. So once you have a basic angle, Now all you do is save that angle. You can now duplicate that angle at the bottom of these energy centers, like here, and also not just at the main ones, but at the smaller ones too. Okay, but primarily at the major ones is what we're going to do. And I'm just going to put like a little M just so you can see that these are more smaller ones. This is the biggest one in between these sections here. This is the biggest one. So this is the one I'm mainly concerned about. But now if I take that angle and I bring it to the lowest core in this area and I redraw that, now I have an angle that looks something like this. Okay? So when price comes down, we're looking for support now to be along this track. Now we've hit this a few times. Here, here, and almost in this area here. Very, very close. And that could just be my margin of error. But that means that price is going to be bearish. Price is rounding into this area, bearish. And this is the symbol that I always draw for everyone all the time. Okay, that's the same symbol that you can see happening. Does that make sense? Okay, so anybody who's seen my videos, you see me draw these options on the map all the time. Okay, let's go a little bit further. Okay, once we have this angle here, we can also do a few other things with it. We can look in the past if we have it, and we can also duplicate that angle at the lowest wicks. Same angle, but now we can use both cores and wicks to extract data. That means that I can use this little point right there, the lowest wick in this cluster of candles. The lowest wick in this cluster of candles, right there. The lowest wick in these clusters of candles. I can use it right there. These are the lowest wicks in these clusters of candles. These are other energy centers on this price. So in a map, there's multiple energies that work, and the energy centers are that where the energy comes together. So you can see as price was coming down and up, the center of that area was here. As price was coming down, it's a smaller one, but the energy was centering around here. Here, as price was going down and coming up, the energy was centering on here. So this is how I read energy centers. But once you have these angles, you can actually take that same angle and you can start duplicating that out. And you can duplicate that angle and move it to the bottom of these energy centers, such as, okay, here at the core, you can see that price sat right here. Okay, that was interesting. That price came all the way down right there. It's also interesting that the cores were here, 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 and then they broke. And that just happens to be the sword cut. Although we would still have to deal with this, that tells us primarily why there's still a little bit of energy here. Since the foundation of this price, that's where a cut may have been. Now, to be safer, you may want to just go to the lowest parts of your foundational areas, how price began, and move it here. The lowest wick without crossing over the other wicks is that one. Okay, now because we move on that one, you can see that price is stopping, and now you can see that there's a better alignment of what was happening here. It's all the same. Okay, now draw your sword cuts. And we should be looking for price to stop around this area. Price went above for a few days and went down. I wonder what it looked like on a weekly chart. I bet it did not even cross on the weekly chart. And we'll look at that at the very end. But right now I'm just laying you down a lot of the energy. Okay, there's still energy in here. Okay, so now that we have that, we can start saying, wow, this is more accurate. We got verification in the past. We got verification in the future. This angle should have reverberating effects. All right, so we're going to keep our eyes on this area. Okay, so in the future, we may look for price to have a boom. And if price is going up, we may say, hey, there's still danger right here because price never stopped exactly in this area. I might be looking for $63 to be a dangerous area for price because these are still a little bit unresolved. Okay, there's still some energy here that needs to be dealt with. So don't be surprised if this sword cut that wasn't exactly accurate comes back into play. Okay, now let's finish the job. What else do we got? We got that line. We had that first line I showed you, but we're still keeping that same angle. Now we got the lowest wicks. We got the lowest cores in this area. There's another, the lowest wick on the chart completely. The whole lowest wick in this whole area is actually this one. That one is because that one is not crossing over the other wicks. Okay, so the lowest core in the area was really this one. The lowest wick overall in this area is this one. But why am I using all of them? Well, because once I figured out my key angle, I am now no longer bound to try to be perfect with everything. Okay, because I already have the key angle at work. The key angle was already discovered. It was this one. This is your key angle. So when you see a key angle, you should know that this angle reverberates all throughout price and usually in that same area. Okay? Price, this angle will show up all over this map. This exact angle. This angle will even show up here. So I want you guys, when doing your verification, to have fun when you find the key. When you find your key angle, have fun drawing it all over and look for a price to give you verification. Okay? Look for that angle just all throughout price and just draw it because you're going to see those connections to the past. You're going to see them in the future. You're going to see it all over. Okay? And if you find the predominant trend, look for mid-phantom as well if you can see it. So looking here, you can see at the lowest wick, we were here, but when we came up, we came down a little bit higher and a little bit higher. Was it any coincidence? No, we drew it right here. You already know the angle at which price reacts. So this tells us a few things. Now that we're put the map together, the health should have came here. It did not. The health should have came here. It did not. Weakness was appearing on this candle, and weakness again appeared here, weakness also appeared again right here. But these are the main points of weaknesses. When this candle appeared and when this candle appeared, we knew that price is getting weak for fold. So this is how you could read the weaknesses. And because we have significantly crossed over into these areas, thank you, Melody. Because we have significantly crossed into these areas, we want to draw what? What do we want to draw right there? When we cross and we don't come back. Anybody know? Hold on. I think Melody. Okay. So I will let you guys know. Thank you. We will draw a sword cut. Okay. So we're going to draw a sword cut. Now this isn't a full standard sword cut, but it is significant because this is where we should have bounced, and we can use that area to keep an eye on that area in the future. So we may want to look at those prices as well for being points of rejection. So now, in addition to looking at an unresolved $63, I may also want to look at $52. Okay, but wait, there's more. If you act now, the next 20 minutes. Let's see. Put this. Weakness appeared on these two candles. We will watch those areas in the future by drawing smaller sword cuts. Those prices that still need to be resolved, they are $63 and $52. They are, I should say, they are the 52 area. Okay, now I'm going to put this in white. Okay, and I'm going to draw really quick big arrows pointing to these areas. All right, now I'm going to take one screenshot and we're almost done for this part of the lesson. Every day I want to give you guys something that you guys can start remembering and start just walking over it through the thought process. Did I say the thought process? Thought is not a word, guys. I need to take some English classes. English is my primary language. We now need to draw these. We got a big curve and a small one here. This curve is decelerating. It's just really one big curve, and I'm just gonna hide this ruler real quick just to show you. Got this big curve and this little tiny one, which is really just a sharp point. It's very possible in the future this will be broken, but there's still a lot of energy along this track. So we need to watch it, possibly for a breakout and health. We would be looking for health to come in the market. But before that can happen, we need to be looking for a few other things. Okay, now I'm going to hide some of these lines, okay, because we did a lot of the hard work. Okay. We did a lot of the hard work already. Now I'm going to now draw this line here to start finding some health. This is the same trade, but this time it's based on core. Okay, so I'm still doing core only, just to keep things a little bit simple for us. Now that I have the meat of the candle for these tops, I can also bring it down to underneath that same energy center, same angle. Okay, this puts price at a little bit of a very dangerous situation. What does this look like for you guys? Would this be a trade that you might want to take right now? Looking at this current price map, would this be a trade that you guys might want to take at the moment?
No.
Why not? It's been going up for the last few days. Look how many days it's like, boom, boom.
No,
Look.
it has to go over.
But Superfood, we came from $20 to $30. Superfood, we're sitting at 35. We went from $20 to 35. Don't you know we're missing out?
Yeah, I know, but that's not looking good, buddy.
That's right.
We should have gone in on the 22. That would be nice.
That's right. If we had some information that may have told us that here's where we would, well, I wanted to go up, that's where we would probably have wanted to get in. Now, I don't have that on this current map. But at the moment, shooting up so fast without proper structure set up, it tells me that there's probably going to be a high chance that price is now going to either start rounding or just flat out reject. But this, either way, we are dangerous in these moments. And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it's more likely that that's what's going to happen. That's one of the stronger options. We are not in health. We should have bounced here. Look what happened, guys. Okay, again, we got our next key angle. This one is key angle. I better put that in for you guys to see it. But I want you to look carefully at this, so you guys know I'm not making this stuff up. Look how price responded to this line. Did price come down all the way here and come right back up? Right? Look at the next day. Sat on it. What about the next day? Came all the way back down and tried to come back up again. 2 times. Then the third day, what happened? Weakness appeared. The line could not hold on. Weakness appeared on that candle on that day. Okay. We should have bounced up and come up to challenge these prices. But it did not happen. Okay, that did not happen. This is what was supposed to happen. This doesn't happen. So if price fails to respond in the areas it's supposed to respond in, it's also an important amount of information that is being given to you. If price is not doing what it's supposed to do, but instead underperforming, it's telling you it's very sick. So price was underperforming and almost went straight down. Now it's starting to perform, but now this time the line is about to be challenged. This line that was still strong is about to be challenged, and it's supposed to be challenged where? Right here. So this is why I don't trust ALBT. I don't trust ALBT because weakness has appeared. Oh, yeah, sorry, ALBT, fold. Thank you, sorry, guys, fold. Thank you, Superfood. So I don't trust fold at the moment. Okay, we may break above. That helps us be a little bit more safer, and then we'll just have to do a new reanalysis. But at the moment, the higher option is that we are going to experience weakness. So therefore, I'm going to put it in a color, because when you see me put a color right next to the arrow, like an arrow writing color right next to price, that tells you that I have a higher bias. So right now, I'm letting you guys know that this was where the weakness appeared. We're in the zone that price should not be here. Therefore, this is a dangerous area. Now, I'm going to put that, and then we're going to be done with this crypto at the moment. Dangerous. Oh my gosh, let me just put it in my text. Danger area. Okay. So this is the danger area. Okay. Or as Tom Cruise would say, the danger zone. All right, so that's what I have for this crypto. I'm just gonna quickly replicate my work on in real life, real quick. 1 second. I'm gonna try and use the same colors that I used, and then we'll move on.
Trying to figure out how it I mean, if you look at it, it was just going down on a daily basis. I mean, it was just, and there was like no support or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, it starts bouncing up. It's like it's hard to find these things out, but it could be something that was going on inside the company. Who knows? Mm-hmm.
Possibly. Oops, what happened?
That's what's hard to track. I know we got the map and everything, but it's like, why did it ricochet after going down so much? It's just a big question.
You may be able to find some other information here from if you were going really deeper into the trade. And if you give me like 1 second in private, I can show you. What's the crypto called again? FOLD. Manif. Okay.
Manifold.
Oh.
M-A-N-I.
October 24th, 2022. www.patreon.com/jsong_7. At the moment, there is weakness on this chart. We are on the wrong side of price action, or I should say correct price action. Alrighty, so I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to put this in red because I'm more apt that price will go down at the moment. Okay, I'm going to give you the other options. This would constitute, if price comes back into this area, it would constitute me having to calculate the map for the bottoms. And it's possible. I just don't believe that it's going to happen at the moment. Okay. Now, I'm going to move this around and take these pictures, and then we'll be done with this crypto. We'll get into the next cryptos. How far back do these reverberations go? Generally, they only stay in those areas here, but I'm going to bring it up to here and see if I see a connection. A little bit here. Maybe that's part of that. Superfood.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah.
I mean, just as fast as it goes down, it has the possibility of going up too. So we just gotta pass that. What is it? Those two support lines.
Yeah, this is.
Maybe it'll go.
Yeah, this is where I would.
A long process.
Yeah, you got a lot of time, and you know we're not guaranteed it can happen now. It could happen after the flash crash, but this is the area that I'm going to be more safer expecting. And I'm just going to put some price labels right on there real quick. Actually, I'm going to first put those quick sword cuts in those areas, the smaller sword cuts, just to help me know where I should be looking at.
Granted, it's only, what is it, like 4 months old, but
yeah,
this is something for long term. But just curious.
And then Superfood, in your private, you may want to also draw the wicks and do your analysis on the wicks. I didn't do it for this class, just to keep things light and simple for you. But you may want to, and then search for verification. And I'm just going to quickly do that before we move on as well, or just quickly give one or two looking for a verification. Oh, you got some verification here at the bottom, back, right there. That's interesting. That may mean that there's still energy along this track here. Okay, so watch out for that line. Draw the wicks. Okay. You have nothing to worry about on the bottom side here, but look for that original line, just in case. Okay. See how price is flirting with this line? There's nothing to worry about right here on this line, so I'm not gonna leave that, but I'm gonna leave on this just because in the past at this bottom we had something, so there's probably energy along the original line. Alrighty. Okay, what's our next crypto melody song?
SHINA INU.
Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome. SHINA.
Yes.
SHINA.
SHINA INU. Not Shiba Inu.
SHINA INU. Wasn't she like a warrior princess or something? That's Xena.
Jason, I couldn't find it on TradingView, and I found even trying to find it online was a bit hard, to be honest. I thought you might be able to.
Shina is, it may be found on that one website, not Coin Market, but Coin Paprika. Let's see. I might be able to find it on Coin Paprika. Perhaps. Shina Inu. We may be able to get it. Let's see. What do they let me transform this into? Nope. Maybe. Haha. Shina. Ooh, wow. Look, it looks like having a big pump, huh? Let's see. This is a daily chart? Woo. Oh, I have some Shina. I'll probably make some money. That's a big pump. Wow. Let's see what if we can find anything on the map. Okay.
The rumors of Shibarium.
Probably. Okay, I got a few things on this. Let's see. This is cool. And I want to thank somebody who, somebody's in our group. I don't know who it is, but somebody in our group was telling me about Coin Paprika, that they had some of the cryptos there. And when I heard that they had some of the cryptos there, it was very interesting, because that's what we can use. We can use this tool to our great effect. All right, so some of the more recent areas we might want to look at. Pulling up a curve tool. Let's pull it. Huh? Let me try something else. Is it not working? Work. Trend line. Oh, I'm not getting these tools to work. Why not? Horizon line? Something's off. I'm not really sure why these are not working. These charts are the tools are not working for me. Yeah, I'm not really sure at all. Let me see about my mouse. It shouldn't be the case. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna draw manually on my chart, and we'll figure out what to do about that maybe next time. Maybe something's wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna collect some energy at these cores here, and I see a type of curve going on. Okay, that should put me with some kind of good response here. We may get a pullback for Shina at these prices, but look for structure to be built in these areas here along these prices. Okay, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 27. Okay, so let's make that big. 0.000027. Now, if we see that, we may be able to take a trade on Shina at those prices. That's something you want to keep your eyes out for. If you guys are looking at Shina, possibly look for that. And I'm going to show you how it's going to look. It would look something like this. Round structure into this area. Okay, this would be bullish if we can get that. Okay. If Shina has a pull back towards 0.00000027. Then look for structure to be built. Round structure. And the reason it would be bullish is because SHINA spent a lot of time building this. Okay. So if you were to take that curve and you duplicate that curve and you bring it straight down as per the rules of the sword method, bringing it to the lowest cores in these areas, I can see one response already. So this is very interesting here. And then the other thing about this is that it kind of tapers off. And if I'm drawing, you can see that it kind of tapers off into these areas here. There is tiger that's advanced. Okay, it's a little bit advanced, but it's going to give you a line that's approximately this curve. Okay, so let me get more accurate. Oops, sorry, I gotta bring it straight up. Very interesting. Very interesting. Exactly where it should be. This is very crude because I'm just drawing, but this is where it should be. This is where you should see the resistance. We have it. Pull back down. I wonder if it's already taken place. Yep. Maybe. Maybe you may not get that far back, guys, because if it's a lot of it's already been fulfilled. I will give you another area to look for rounding, and it's going to be here. Okay. If you get pullbacks into this area, I want you also to look in that area. Okay. This would also be bullish. Both of these maneuvers would be bullish. Rounding here at these prices, and that's going to be closer to, and I'm going to give you those prices. What is that price? 3, 5, 3, 4. I want to say around 3, 4. Okay. So either one of those, for people who are watching SHINA, either one of these would be very bullish. Okay. Okay, we would look for SHINA to do good at those prices, okay? Okay, I would hold on through it at those, okay? I would hold on through it at those prices. Okay. All right, and you may not get the pullback. Who knows? Maybe SHINA's going to the moon tonight. But I would hold on through this run, at least for the round structure. And if I saw the pullbacks, I would probably definitely stay in. If I wasn't already in, I would get in at those points. I wouldn't just chase the candle right now. I wouldn't chase it at the moment. Okay, that's not something I would do. I want to check one last thing on SHINA before I move on to the next crypto. I want to collect some of this energy here. And this is just for my own curiosity. Bringing it to my lowest cores in these areas. That's going to be that one. Okay. So price has been rejecting in these areas. Get some closes in these areas, guys. Get some closes in these areas. To confirm SHINA's in health, you need to be above these areas. You really want to be in those areas. Yeah, there's some health that's coming in, but you need to be in these areas because you still have other stuff to deal with in here based on some of this stuff. Okay. A lot a lot of round structure in this area, which would normally be bullish. Challenging it one more time, coming up and then coming back down to that area. I can't really draw super accurately on this chart, but that close above here, this candle going down right here, this candle right here, could have been a sign that tried to go below. But because we got above this area and we're able to close in this area, that could have been health coming in and appearing on that candle. Therefore, this candle right here could be a very big sign that Shina's ready to pop because of this candle. You can see how on this candle we tried to come all the way back down but could not. So this should be a sign of health. So when we came here, that was healthy as well. That was the confirmation that this candle should be the sign that health came in Shina. So it's not that, not that far-fetched that probably should go up at these areas. But that looks like that's the health coming in right here on this car. Okay, that's a little advanced. That's not a tutorial. It's just me using my skills, trying to read it with as best as I can. Okay. Any other questions about Shina?
Hey, Jason. Good morning.
Hey, is this Mr. Ma?
Yes, sir. Sorry, I won't be able to talk at length, but my question is, do we have any idea what the low range for SHINA INU may be?
Mm-hmm.
In a flat pulse scenario?
Oh, in like a worst case scenario?
Like how people are placing low numbers during a flash crash. Is there any intel as to what the low numbers may be during that type of scenario?
I haven't heard anything prophetic. My map. Yeah, I don't have anything at the moment as far as one of those low numbers. Perhaps we're still looking along this track right here. So those prices could be somewhere between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it happens in November, just say it happened at the beginning of November. We're looking at around 0.00000012. So around 1.2 would probably be like a little bit of a flash crash. If the flash crash is super bad and everything's going to zero, then you're going to be below prices, and then we'll come back to some of these and look for possibly resistance, and then later on in time we'll come back into health. But at the moment, that's what we might be looking for, a bottom. That's one of the bottoms we got. You got another. Yeah, I at the moment that's really all I have. I really wouldn't spend too much time doing that core because we got a lot of that already complete.
Okay, I appreciate that.
No problem. I'll put that on the website as well. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Next crypto, please. Where can I buy Shina? Says Claudia. Shina. Let's look at it on CoinMarketCap, or it should say maybe right here. Exchanges. Uniswap V3. It looks like one of the only places you can buy or obtain Shina, and looks like you're gonna have to buy some wrapped ether. Now, when I bought it, it's a hassle, and it's a hassle to sell it too. By the way, it's a hassle to sell it. It's not like a regular crypto. You have to usually buy ether to buy wrapped ether, or buy ether and convert it to wrapped ether and then buy Shina. But there are people that become millionaires based on some of these weird dog coins, and some of them in the future will be much easier to obtain, but by that time you may be priced out with some of the biggest price movements, if this is them. There's some people who bought Shina at the very beginning, so I'm probably sitting on a little bit of, I wonder how much money I have in Shina. It's been a while. I have some weird coins in some of my older, more obscure wallets. So I have to look to see how much I have of this. I don't even know how much I have, but I have some of it. Alrighty, guys. What's the next crypto? Sologenic is one of the requests. Do we have an idea for the low Shina? Okay, thank you. QNT chart. Shina. Okay, Melody, can you write down QNT and Sologenic? Okay, we need to do QNT first. Yeah, we looked at QNT the other day. I believe we're coming up to some resistance areas one more time. I didn't see much more money available on QNT. Not much at all. But most of the trade has been
Sol or Sologenic?
It'll be Sol. All right. Okay.
Sol.
Most of our first QNT trade was in these bullish areas here. Second was along this track, and here when we came into this area in white, these resistance levels are here. We are looking for the pullback to happen along this track, 180, 168. And you can see prices rounding. We went up for a little bit, came back down just a little bit. We're looking to break above here. Going down further, you cut it in half. Daily goes to the 12 hour. We have not broken above. Going down, and let's put the signals in, by the way, too. So we're gonna put it on our order block indicator. Let's go back to a daily chart, by the way. The last bullish order block was here. We have not changed on the daily. Let's go to the 12 hour. Nothing. Now we're going to be going to the 6 hour. We're looking for bullish signals in these areas. Okay, nothing. Now we'll go to 3. You just keep cutting it in half. All right, and we got our bullish order block here, right where we're supposed to get it. So on the 3 hour chart, on October 22nd, here, 2 days ago, there was a buy signal exactly where our map is. So our map is telling us that we should be looking for the buys. So I don't care if the signals say short right now. If you're on this side of price, it may be a little bit dangerous to short at the moment, because this is where our mid phantom is. We have crossed over from one side of this trend line to the other side, to the phantom. And when we cross over that middle line, that mid phantom, we draw what is called step ups. And when we draw those step ups, especially if those step ups are giving us responses in the past, and we can see that this is where we're supposed to reject, right? Reject, and that's where we should be building bullishness. So here's the bullishness. We came up, we came down, came up, we came down. This is the area. This is the step up area. That was correct. Price went up. The next step up area is where? Right here, baby. Okay? So we're looking for price to build structure here on this. Okay? Yeah, it's got to build, it's got to break over here, and I told you guys it may be a few days, cuz you know, we got to crack this line again. So you got a few days, right? We've had a few days. I hope you guys do well. I hope we crack this in the next day. It could play here all the way theoretically until October 26th, Wednesday. You can see that we can actually play in this little crack going up and down, until it has to pop up one way or the other. And this day is October 26th. Okay? So I took a screenshot of that. So we're looking for bullishness, and we got on a 3 hour chart signal. We have a signal in the right spot. Okay? That makes sense, guys? Let me just take a quick screenshot of that. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna in the highest. Okay. Oh, and I'm just gonna put this here. We have, we see on this 3 hour chart that price, that the signal is in the right spot. We are looking for bullishness. Bullish on top of the 168 step up area. Price is currently building structure. This is bullish. I am looking for a breakout above the yellow line. However, price can play in this area up until October 26th. Then price needs to make a decision, either revealing its bullishness or bearishness. All right, on this chart, where is the safe area to trade on this chart? Where are the safest areas to take this trade? If we were looking at this trade, where is the areas we may want to look at? Show me on this chart where prices are the prices that are safe, and where do prices start getting dangerous. Okay, I want you guys to draw on my chart. Melody, can you write down MNW, Melody, and then AMC? Jeff Chan is asking for change. Somebody draw on my chart where the safer places to take this trade are if you have not gotten in. Okay. All right, so Josiah is drawing here along this track, and then he's drawing above here, and that's correct. Taking the trade or waiting for the breakout is more safer because you're not really guaranteed. You can play down here. You may get lower price, but it's still not as safe. I'm not saying it's the best. The best is along this track for me. That's the best. With round structure is the best. The rounder the better. This is a little bit sharp, okay? So price could play in this area for a little bit. I don't like it when it's so sharp. I like it when it's nice and round coming up to the sword cut, because then I get the nice spring. It's almost like jumping and crouching and jump, okay? So I like to see price break above these dangerous areas, okay? So this is the danger area a little bit. We need to break above this. Now, if price takes too long, this is the area down here where price can get stuck, okay? So I'm going to show you. If we close below these prices here, that is bearish. We don't want to be trading in those areas because then we can go down. So we don't want to be trading along this. Even if prices come up to this, this is a double bearish, okay? So you can see that prices just has two reasons to be bearish. And I just, you know, that's not a word I'm using often, but it's just the weakness would be underneath this line and also along this track, okay? If price, however, is allowed to go down here, and I'm just going to give you a very obscure one, and price just phases through, then look for price to just bounce around and be what I call delayed, okay? This would be delayed, where price just kind of, it's not really, and it's bearish, but it's not really super bearish. It's kind of just in this area. And that happens sometimes too. So we watch for a lot of these types of behaviors, and when you see it over and over and over and over and over again, just by watching the markets, you start getting a feel for what I'm talking about. Okay, but that's all on a 3-hour chart. Let's go back to the trade. All right, let's go to the next question. Does anybody have any other questions about QNT? Melody, can you check to see if we have QNT? Melody, hey, can you write down to check to see if we have any QNT? I bought some ADA. But I want to make sure that I had some QNT, because I wanted to get QNT at these prices, and we're very close to these prices, and I think we need to get a bag. I like the structure on step ups. I'm more apt to take the risk, and I will get out at these prices closer to either this track again, which is now going to be, if it happens tomorrow, just say price shoots up tomorrow, it's $250. Okay, the highest that price should hit is around $292. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for, 250 and 292. QNT, yeah.
And ADA?
No, I already bought ADA. I already bought it. I bought it this morning. All right. No other questions about QNT? QNT? Whack. Whack. That's how the ducks do. Ducks fly together. Ducks fly together. What's the next one, Melody?
After QNT?
Yeah.
Sol.
Soul. Some soul power.
You know it's sol in my dialect?
What is it? It means sun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, same.
It's the same as Spanish.
Right.
Soul. S-O-L. I got some soul power. Got some soul power. Yeah. You got to get in touch with your inner who's somebody who has deep voice? Shaft. Can you dig it? He's a complicated man. No one understands him but his woman. John Octo. You guys are like, what is he singing? October. I didn't hear that on Hillsong. I know. We have not looked at this in a while. All right. Tiger. What is price responding to? One moment. Tiger. This should be Tiger. We're still in these zones here. Look at these curves here. We're gonna need to continue this. All right. Give me one moment. I'm just gonna, again, this is not a tutorial class today, but I am gonna use my skills. And I'm gonna update some of these lines. Because it's been many moon have passed since we came to country. Many strong warrior. Verification. I bet I got sword cut right here too. Sword cut. Okay. In this instance, we need to be wary of a few areas. And I bet, in addition to that, that's mid-phantom. I bet it's mid-phantom. I bet. And I wouldn't be able to draw that though. That would break the rules. Okay. What I'm gonna draw is soul is dangerous. We still got some danger. We still gotta overcome these sword cut areas here. We need to beat these prices before a longer term. The prices that we need to beat are currently 110 to around $101. Those are the prices we really need to beat, which means this is going to be broken down into a few areas. Okay. Right now, whatever's happening on soul is taking a longer time. Okay. There's not a direct relationship between price and the sword cut itself, but there should be with the step ups. And I'm going to now verify that. This is the last place we crossed over the sword cut. Step up here. So I'm going to just mark that real quick. Good. Now, where's the next area? Yeah. Huh? What did you say?
Nothing.
What are you laughing at, sweetie?
I said good.
Are you watching a movie?
No. You said good. I said good. And you said yeah.
No, melody song. You need this girl. Ay, esta niña. She's got her issues. Of course, I got mine. We shouldn't have gone that far into the sword cut. So we only have step ups to respond to. All right, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. One. We have not crossed over, so we don't have anything else. Okay, good. All right, now I can go into the daily chart. Okay, now I can go into the daily chart, and I'm gonna look for some areas here. This area is gonna be a dangerous area. I'm gonna draw. This is not a step up, but I am gonna draw like a little bit of danger here
Not Solana.
because it's a type of,
Darling.
huh?
Just say I said not Solana, but Sologenic.
Solo. Am I in the wrong one? Ah.
Why is you not looking at that?
Oops, Melody, you're supposed to help me here. You can hold it. You can go to the bathroom later on. Okay.
But that's Solana. I mean, Solana's. Did it not have a crash or something really? Did something weird happen with Solana this past few months? Was there a hack or something? Does anyone know?
Does anybody know?
Yeah, got hacked.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. That's why it's from 100. Yeah.
There's not much money on the table.
Easily hackable, man. I don't know what's going on with that.
A lot of danger still in Solana. I don't really trust it until we get to some of these more safer prices. I really don't trust it. A lot of still danger on the market here. I'll feel more safer after here, but because of all of this energy here, I don't want to take the trade once we're here. There's just not enough money on the table to make it worth it for me. If we crack above here just to wait till we're safe, I don't want to take that next trade. This is the main resistance. Okay, so I don't want to take this trade. That's why I put this symbol right here. So I'm just kind of saying that it's small. This is me saying it's small. There is just not enough energy, okay, on the table, or not enough money on the table. Not enough money on the table. Okay. This crypto still has much danger. Sorry, guys. All right, well, look at that next crypto. The other one you wanted, the other Sologenic. Is that what it is? Sologenic. What is the ticker for that one?
Solo USDT.
Solo.
That's. No, you got it. So,
Is it solo?
Sologenic? Oh, that's something. Okay, forget it. That's something different.
What is he? What did he put? Soul.
Ticker goes by Solo USDT.
Hold on. Betty's asking, is it okay to short Sol? I would say no. No, you don't want to short Sol, and the reason you don't want to short Sol is because even though there's a lot of danger still on Sol, there's a thunder cut not so far away. Okay, there's a thunder cut here, and though there's a high chance price may come up and challenge this area, I don't have any I don't have a bearish signal. It'd be one thing if price had come up this far to hit this height, but we're so far off of this area here that there's still a lot of potential for price to come up to try to fulfill those orders before going back down. So it is just a mess. Okay, so I wouldn't short Sol, this one, but I wouldn't buy it either. Okay. All right, and let me put that here. I would not short Sol but I would not buy it either. At the moment. And again, as always, this is never financial investment or trading advice of any kind. This is just for entertainment, comedic purposes only. Only but a goodie. I need to find your crypto, my friend. Who is asking for it? Who asked for Sol? Hard to keep up with the hacks. Josiah. Okay, so Josiah is asking for Sologenic. Let's see if we can find it. And I'm sure maybe it's going under a different name. I'm sure I've done it before. Sologenic. Sologenic Coinex. USDT. I got it on Tether. Let's look at that one, okay? On Coinex. What are we at on time, Melody Song? Mm-hmm. 1 hour 35. Okay, we're coming up to our times. All right, I got nothing on Sologenic. Let's see. Let's build a map. Let's build a map around it. Yeah, yeah.
What?
Are you making fun of my socks? My shoes? I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand you. Guys, I don't understand women.
Yes, Edie, I thought you.
A few different energies that work in these areas. You want to pay attention to this. And I'm going to just show you real quick with a quick highlighter. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. You want to spend attention to this area. But we also have to deal with this. Okay, so that's going to come up in play. It's a hidden battle. There's a few ways that we can really deal with it, but the main relationship to this is that it's its own thing. One of the basic ways you can deal with a hidden battler is just simply drawing a flat top. Okay, so you'll look for behavior above here, which means we're a little bit in no man's land. Okay, so it's not saying we won't find anything, but we may find some trades. Okay. I'm going to look at the bottom of this energy here. Look how nice and round it is. You want to use that energy. Okay. And we only really have this. Maybe this is a little bit round. A little bit. We may be able to use this area pretty accurately. So let's draw a line for that, connecting those places real quick. And I'm going to check the cores. And running the cores, I get a strong verification off the bat right away. Wow, fantastic. Okay, you can see how many points of energy we're able to collect from these points. Core, verification. Okay, so, or you could just use these two in the middle as verification, but it's all the same. You're trying to collect as much energy as possible. Now that we have that energy collected, let's just give it a color so we can separate it. And then now we are going to clone that out. We're going to put that at the top of this energy centers here along this track. As also, I'm going to put it up here in these areas, okay? And don't be surprised if it's the same angle. And verification here. Good. Let's put it here at the cores and see if I got anything. Verification. Let's check the next one. Wick, nothing. Core, verification at core. All right, so very interesting. So this is good. This is why we're gonna bring this down a little bit lower. I'm gonna draw a sword cut in this area so that we know where, if price falls tomorrow, we're looking for these prices in these areas. We're looking for price to come down and round at these areas. Okay, that's what we'll be looking for. Next, let's see if there's any supports right now. This is a good example, by the way. All right, congestion came up on top. Good. Or a little bit of, not congestion. Yeah, congestion, that's a good word. Not consolidation. I'm gonna put this at the highest wicks in these areas. And you can see you can see we got some support. So this is good. 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 Nice and round. Exactly where we're supposed to. This should be bullish. And I'm bullish. I am bullish with potential. So if you guys are in Sol, some money on the table. Let's see. Let's check the prices. Woohoo. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You got something. You got mail. Let's see what we got.
I need a couple of double ups.
27 cents. Current price is 37 cents to 61 cents on the table potentially right now at this moment, and that's being the little bit conservative. Let's see. Let's draw a little bit more accurate. I'm gonna draw an infinity flat just to be safe. Even I have a concern. Okay, and I'll show you what my concern is. All right. So yeah, it looks like Sol's bullish at the moment. Okay, bullish. You got a nice pullback into an area of support. I would feel comfortable risking it for the biscuit. With this trade, I would feel more comfortable taking this trade up to 61 cents. That might be a double because you're talking about 30 cents to 60 cents. So that might be a double. Okay. Where is my resistance is going to come in? Let's see. I don't really like using origin points like this because sometimes these coins are launched based on a lottery system, and then sometimes at the origin point we just don't have the oldest available data. So I don't really like using that point because that could have been just when this exchange went live with, you know, CoinX went live with Sol, and Sol could have existed longer than February of 22nd. So I don't really like using those as resistance areas. But if that's where we did start, it makes a little bit of sense why we would encounter some resistance here. Okay. So we got some resistance exactly in the areas where we should have it. This needs to be a little bit lower, by the way. Oops. Therefore, this needs to be lower. And you can see when I bring it down to the bottom of this energy center here, what do we got? Resistance. Boom, baby. That's why I love the sword method. Okay? That's why I love the sword method, because it's just a fantastic way to start reading price and understanding what the heck is going on with price. Okay? When you start dissecting price and chopping it up and realizing the strongest energy is moving in and out of price, and you stop dancing like I'm doing. Sorry, Melody. When you start understanding, you can start making better educated decisions about how much money is available for you. All right, so I'm gonna give you those prices here. We're a little. The only bad news, guys, is that we're a little bit far off from the prices you want. You want it closer to 27, but we're just looking at this right now. However, we're still just barely forming this little round structure. It looks like a little handle. You know, it's not a cup and handle really, but it's the round structure that I always talk about for a long time here on J-Song Presents Sword Method. So this is the symbol that I always draw for you guys, and this is the symbol that we got right now. Okay, we're looking for that symbol, and that's what we're happening. And there's money on the table, so danger potentially around 43 cents. But price is available up to 61 cents right now, and then we're gonna have to end up dealing with this sword cut. Now there is even potential for much higher, but I'm gonna fade that off in the background because I don't really think that we're gonna be able to hit all of that high just at the moment. And the reason I don't think so is because, well, because of you see how the core here came up and then we hit. And then we kind of leveled out again, and then we came up. It looks a little too flat for me. I almost wondering if we may have a little bit less money on the table just because of all that. And we may get all the way up to the top, and that's generally what we're supposed to. But I want to look at this on the weekly chart to make sure I'm getting the same tops. Yep, same matching top on the weekly chart. All right, so we should be more safe to take the trades up to 61 cents, 60 cents. I would get out about 60 cents, maybe even 59. Be safe. All right. Beehive. Beehive. So for some of you looking for some probably easy money, that's probably a very good trade for you to, you know, have a small bag. Sologenic Soul. Oh, it's just Sologenic. Okay, Sologenic. October 24th, 20 this 22. www.patreon.com/jsong_7. Bullishness on Soul. Potential up to what was it? 60 cents. Potential up to 0.61 cents at the moment. We are not far from the last bullish area. These prices are good. Point.
So the trade's good to open at the current price. We're not waiting for any pullback.
No, you probably already got the pullback. I shouldn't say double. I shouldn't say double. Yeah, 30. Yeah, because we're still at 30. Oh no, we're at 37 cents. So it's not a double. I do apologize. It's not a double your money because we're already at 37 cents. But I don't think we're gonna get a better pullback than this. I mean, look how round that is. That's good. And you know, we're not so far away from here with still money on the table. So you're gonna take the brunt of the flexibility. But if you can keep watching this track and keeping your eye on your target, you should be good. I mean, we should be good. I'm gonna take that trade. Can you put down Sologenic, Melody? Not Soul, Sologenic. Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna buy a small bag of Sologenic. Exit at 61 cents. Okay. Good for me. I'm gonna put good for me.
61.
Yeah, 61 cents. Good for me. Yeah. Alrighty. All right. What is next? Do we have any other questions about Sologenic? Sologenic is on BitTrue, Hobie, and Gate.io, says Josiah. Josiah says boom. And Binance is listing rumor. Ooh, that's good. If it gets listed on Binance, a lot of people have Binance. Alrighty. What's the next one, Melody Song?
MNW.
What is it? NNW?
M.
Who is it? Daisy who asked for it? Daisy, was that Daisy?
Yes.
Daisy.
Yes,
What is MNW? Is that a crypto or a stock?
it's a crypto Morpheus network.
Okay. Yes, Neo. You're telling me I can dodge bullets? No, Neo. When you're done, you won't have to. Who says that famous line? If you know it, you win today's cheers.
Except me. Oh.
Everybody knows that. It's Morgan Freeman.
No, not Morgan Freeman.
No, you're not. It's not. Oh, it's Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes, Lawrence Fishburne. You said MFW?
MN.
Oh, MNW.
W.
Morpheus Network. There it is. Got it. And Lawrence Fishburne's character was Morpheus. Melody, you don't know that because you've never seen The Matrix. I never showed you The
Can you say
Matrix.
again W?
I've kept you with the blue pill.
Can you say again W?
Huh? W?
You want to keep him, yeah.
W?
It's the way you want to keep
Yeah,
him.
I always give your wife the blue pill, guys. Just kidding.
How do you say W?
You're like, what? What does that mean?
W?
Huh?
How do you say W?
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 Yeah, W.
W.
Yeah.
That how
W. Is that how I say it? W? How do you say it?
I say W. W. I don't know. W.
Dabba, dabba. Habba, dabba, habba, habba, W.
W.
Yeah.
But you
I don't.
say
Why do they call it a W when it should be called a double V? Right?
Depends on how you write it.
Didn't you tell me that, Melody? I
Depends
think it
on
was you
how
who.
write it.
I think it was you who told me that.
If you write it like this,
Yeah. Oh, if you.
that's W. If you write like this, that's
We got to see how it was originally written in the Greek and in the Hebrew.
It's because in the old printing presses, the same letter was used for U and V in the printing press.
Really? So when did they change that?
Because if you look at a 1611 King James Bible, an original transcript, it's the letter S and the letter F are the same word, the same letter, and a U and a V are the same letter. A little trivia for today.
The more you know, right? The more you know. I know, right? Okay. Here's one of our step ups. It should be in this area right there, and we got what we need to get. I'm trying to find the energy that's going to be needed in this area. Okay, where we're going. We need to find and discover the challenges we're going to have along the way. This is not a tutorial, by the way. Okay, this is just me using my skills because of time. And we do have some tutorials that will release. We will go over some more tutorials this week, but not on Monday. Monday, usually people need me for my skills because we're not going to have a class until Tuesday. Okay. Okay, partner. Okay. Alrighty. All right, so the main gist of the health has came through right here on this candle. Okay, that's the breakout candle. All right, so I'm gonna draw the sword cut right where we cross over, right there. So we need to have that available. Okay, so these prices we're gonna be concerned about 55 cents. Okay, we're gonna be concerned about that. If there's a great flash crash and the price comes down, we're looking at that area. Buy some. Buy some. Whatever this is. All right. Next, let's look at the continuations of health. We got this here, and this should be replicated here. So I'm going to be looking for where price should be accelerating. Okay. And at core, same angle. Mid phantom verification. Interesting. Very good. Very good. We may be too far gone for my next entry, guys. We may be too far gone for our next entry. We're getting too far away from our where we started to upturn. We're getting too far away. Where is my next entry? So if let me ask a question. Daisy, are you already in MNV Morpheus? No.
Not yet.
Okay.
Thank you.
We might have missed our entry. We might just be too far away. The last time the last breakout candles were here around $1.11. We're already at like 191. I need to calculate and see if I can find our next resistances, because unless we get a pullback, oh, I know how to find it. Okay. All right. Praise the Lord. Ooh, already breaked above that too. Huh. I feel like I'm playing chess against the markets. All right, I know what we're gonna do.
I want to get this for long term.
See, I want these prices here. These are the prices I want right here. Okay, I want closer to around $1.20, between 130 and 110, or somewhere when we get along this track. This is the track we're looking for the prices. I don't know if we're getting the pullback though. So that's why I'm trying to find the resistances so I can see if we're gonna get that pullback. I need to step back and look at it real quick. Let me build this real quick here. Just some of the more important ones. And I'm gonna try to do my best for you, okay? I do apologize about the length today of our class today, guys. I'm trying to fill everybody's requests before the day is over. I think the chart's just too young. Yeah, I think this chart, it just doesn't have enough data for me to calculate this resistance area.
Correct,
Yeah.
because it just recently listed on KuCoin, but it has been around since 2018.
Has it been around since 2018?
It's probably on Bybit or whatever.
Okay, let me see if I can pull up an older chart on that. So MNW. Give me one more moment, okay? What exchange was that? KuCoin. Okay, MNW. I might be able to calculate the top on a different exchange. MNW on Bittrex. Which one did you say it was on, guys?
It was one of the difficult coins to get. It was on Uniswap.
Here we go. Well, wrapped ETH. You can still buy it with wrapped ETH. So this might give me something. It looks almost the same. Yeah. Can you read the question, W? Melody? I called her W. Calls you W N M N F M N W.
Jason, isn't this the best time to risk it for the lobster biscuit MNW?
Is now the best time to now I got something. Finally, about darn time I got something. Is this the best time to risk it for the lobster biscuit? Man, them lobster biscuits. I don't like shrimp, guys. I have a hard time trying to eat it. But I sure do love going to Red Lobster and eating some of those lobster biscuits. Oh my gosh, those things are yummy. Whew. Yummy. Darling, how do you say it? Say it, darling. Say it. I know you know how to say it. Say it.
What is a lobster biscuit? Because over here, what you call a biscuit, we call a scum.
Scum?
Scum.
No.
Scum.
Like scum and villainy?
No, scum.
Oh, like a scone. A scone.
Scum, yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So, what's a lobster biscuit?
W.
Is it like a lobster
W
flavored scum?
or W? Sorry.
No, I said, is this the best time to risk it for the lobster bisque? But he read it as biscuit. So,
Oh, so are you okay? Then I missed it. What's happening?
lobster bisque is like kind of like a soup-based
Okay.
soup-based meal. I guess at like Olive Garden or something.
Like lobster chowder or
Lobster
something?
biscuit.
Oh yeah, kind of. It's pretty good.
Some biscuits.
Biscuit. It sounds I don't know about trying it. It sounds a little too risque for me to try that.
I've never had lobster.
You haven't lived until you've had Olive Garden. All the free breadsticks you want.
Yeah. You got to keep asking though. Can I have some more, please? Yes, you can. All right, I think we got some tops we can get. I think I'm doing my best to I'm finding using all available data to try to find our next tops. All right, so I may got it right here. Okay, here we may get it. This is the homework that we put in. Okay. Top Should that give me a verification? Yes. Woohoo! Got it. All right. So this tells me okay. So this is the angle more or less we're looking at, guys. We are looking at this angle here, and I'm using Bittrex to try to identify the prices where we're going to start encountering resistance. Now, this is based on the core of these areas. When I put it at the top of this energy center here, I'm getting verification back to these prices. So that gives me something to work with. That tells me that this area still may be challenged, and that area that we're challenged is going to be along the track. Current prices are $2.54 for that. That target is closer to $2.50. This is a weekly chart, by the way. We're at $1.93. So you got about only 50 cents. That's basically on the table. You're talking about from $2 to 50. Yeah, something like 25% maybe, because you're right. We're talking about one fourth of $2 is 50 cents. So, I think something like 25% on your money possibly available with those prices. All right, so I'm going to take a screenshot. This was one of the more difficult ones that I've had to do. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to say that this was really, we may want to look at that. At the moment, let me pull up my last chart for this. Okay, so putting it all together, I would say that we may not get a pullback. We're very close to that run. We may not get a pullback on MNWT. So I'm gonna tell you, Daisy, that for me, I wouldn't risk it. We just don't have the round structure here in these areas. We already missed our breakout. And even when we did get this last breakout, price didn't even come all the way down to the bottom, and it's just like already going on its run. So it seems to be extremely bullish. Now we could find for us where the health bar was supposed to come right here, but in all cases we didn't come back down to challenge the sword cut. We just went only to mid phantom. That's all you got, and then you went up, and then here we didn't come back and challenge. We didn't. So price is just rapidly going, and there's just no more opportunity. So the main buying area would have been down here, and because we don't have any pullback, I'm gonna say it's a little bit dangerous to be in the trade. If you are already in the trade, we may want to stay in the trade until you get until $2.54, then take some profit, because there are a lot of profit taking at that level. Okay, that's the next profit taking level that we should see. Breaking out above there, then that would be the next. That would constitute another trade. So breaking out above 254, especially if we get some round structure here, that would be the new area where new health would come in. But at the moment, you got this money on the table. It's not much. So I wouldn't say long term this is where you want to be at. You may hit this area and come back down for some more proper challenges of these areas here and here. Okay. So I'll put these all on my website today. You can keep them. But for people who are just trading, even just because price is going up, I'm not a candle chaser. I'm not telling you guys to be like, oh, well, let's buy this, let's buy this. No. We're not in. We got to be traders. We can't be led away by the glitz and glamour of something shiny. Ooh, it's moving really fast. It's shiny. No. We have to think very emotionless. We have to think with our heads. It's great when we have a trade. Okay, and when we miss the trade, you gotta accept it. There's always a trade, guys. There's always a trade somewhere in some market somewhere or on some day. Even if there's nothing today, there's gonna be trades. Okay, the markets always find balance, and we have to let the market. It's like fishing. You gotta let the fish come to you. Okay, don't get desperate and start diving in the water. I gotta find a fish. I gotta find a fish. No, you don't gotta find a fish. Okay, let the fish come to you. But right now, this one looks like we just missed our opportunity. It was closer to here. Okay, that was the best prices. All right, and we would have known that in our method. We could have seen that was the breakout area. we could see that that's when we are on top of this white line. That's when the health were to start coming in the market, and then we could have started calculating mid phantom from there. These are things we could have done, but we didn't know about this one, so we lost it. So that's tough luck. I do apologize, guys. Jay's song isn't the best time to risk it. Okay, make sure to read our comments. You're welcome, you're welcome, Daisy. Sorry that we missed it.
Next is AMC.
AMC is the next one.
Yeah, last one, I think.
Okay, and this is the last one. All right, guys, the last one for the time. What are we at on time? We are almost at time. We're at 1:55. Let's see if I can finish. Today was an extra long class. Let's see if we can finish within 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure we can, and we will do I will do my best. One day, you guys are gonna be teaching this and doing the searches for people. You guys are getting good. I know you can do it one day. You dance over me while I am unaware. Alrighty. AMC is in bearish territory. AMC needed a bounce at these prices. It hit once, came to its resistance, came back down. The weakness appeared where? This is a weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, we appeared weakness here on September, at the end of September. Where's our map? September 27th. I am not bullish AMC at the moment unless we close above 7.60 cents. This will be a little hopeful. As it is, closes below this step up area would possibly see us down to the 425 price area. Currently dangerous for me. We need structure. All right. And what happened? We are getting exactly the opposite of structure. Let me bring price to the front. I mean, not the opposite of structure. You're getting structure. You're just getting not the right structure that you need. If you guys are ever drawing and all your drawings are in front of price, click on price. Like click on one of the price and you'll see little dots up here. Then you're going to come up to the 3 dots here and click on that, and then you're going to go to visual order. Under visual order, click it and click bring to front. And what you're doing is you're pulling price into the front and all the drawings behind it so that you can keep your eye on price. Because as we look at price, you can see us now rounding back into this sword cut, into the step up area, which is this type of sword cut, by the way. You're seeing us get into this area, and now that's the weaknesses. Okay, so the weaknesses appeared on this candle right here on September 26th. Okay. Was it September 26th? We came into this area. Very messy, but we could not break above. So we didn't continue to come in this area. We just crossed over and built structure on the underneath. And now we're starting to go down. So we don't want to be in AMC at the moment. We want to be waiting for prices to get to lower points. Combine this with some of the weaknesses in the stock market that are about to appear very soon. And we don't have a much positive outlook on AMC at the moment. Okay, maybe after the crash, let prices come to you. All right. I'm not bullish on AMC at the moment. We are in weaker territory. I am looking for prices to get to the 4.25 before looking for further health. If you are shorting it, I wouldn't necessarily short AMC. Let that be the bull. Let that be the what all the hedge funds are doing, because they're gonna get caught with the bad position. They're gonna get caught holding the bag. They're already trying to short squeeze, but eventually AMC is gonna do very well, I believe. Okay.
Jason, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
How would you describe a short squeeze? Because I've been hearing that term a lot lately.
A short squeeze is when you have like somebody who's not very tall, and then somebody's angry at them, and they just, yeah, they're frustrated. No. So short squeeze. That's a great question. Short squeeze is where It's a short squeeze is where you have a stock. Most of the time, it's done in the stock markets, although it does happen like in the silver markets, where there's heavy options trading that is done on that crypto. So in the options market, there's three primary ways to make money, and there's multiple ways to make money, especially with options. But in the options market, options are a way to trade stocks, and the stocks are bought on a timer. Okay, so when you buy an option, you're buying like it's like a timed purchase, and they're called contracts. Okay, but it's basically like buying it for a short time. Now, you can buy when you buy those contracts, you basically say something like this: in 1 month's time, in 30 days from now, if price is higher than, you know, this high price, if price goes higher than that number, then it doesn't matter how high the number is. As long as it's above that number, you immediately collect money. So you buy the option, which is the right to buy the price at that price, which is called the strike price. So you may say, so say price is at $1 and you believe that it's going to go to like $5. You can buy an option for $2. And as long as price goes anywhere higher than $2, and it's above that line, you make the money. You can also do that with buying it's like shorting the market by buying a put. So if you could say, well, I believe price is going to go to below 50 cents. So if price goes to like 0, 1, 2, or even just 49 cents, then what happens is you make that money. Okay, you collect the option, the money. You can also sell the put as long as it's before the timer. The option becomes worth money if as long as price is trading below that option before the timer. And you could sell that contract to somebody else in the options market. And so that's valuable for people because they're like, ooh, it's already in the money. But as time goes on, that value goes down, and that's called intrinsic value. So that value will actually go away. Okay, so the higher that it's in the money, the more odds, the more chances that the option is going to close with you being able to collect it. So you want to be the one holding the option at the end of the time, or when the price goes so far down, that option goes up in value and you can just sell that. The third way, and this is where you get into short squeezes, is that there's that middle ground between where price is. And this is where the people who buy options, in these cases we're talking about hedge funds, mutual funds, banking, financial institutions, they will target stocks that they believe are not going to go out of the money or in the money. They believe that these prices are just going to be stable. And why? Because these stocks are heavily manipulated. These are the gold markets, the silver markets, the stocks that they think are not going to go up at all. So what they do is in secret, and not so secret, is that they all get together and they're like, hey guys, AMC sucks, man. No one's going to the movies right now. It's a pandemic. GameStop, nobody's buying video games. Everybody's buying them online. Let's do this. Let's all buy options at the money. Okay, so they're going to buy options in this range. Okay, so they'll pick the range and they'll say as long as price doesn't go above here and doesn't go below here, they're going to make money. So this is another way that you can trade. So as long as it trades in that range, they make a lot of money every 30 days. All right. Now to do so, they have to play games. They have to secretly sell price. They'll buy, and then when price gets too high, they'll dump their holdings to try to scare people out of buying the stock. So when price goes too high, they'll short. They'll short it, and they'll try to short to keep the price down and squeeze everyone else out of the market. And when they squeeze them out of the market, then they collect their money at the end of the 30 days. So it's like every 30 days. And there's certain days where these options expire, and it's public knowledge. I think it's somewhere on like the 26th or 25th for the main stocks options. Okay, so and there's lots of ways, but this is the basic concept. So what happened with the short squeeze is that on Reddit, on the internet, people found out that people were shorting the stocks. They found out that they were targeting specifically AMC and GameStop, and they were like, the regular people, like internet sleuths, and they were like, man, this is wrong. What are they're targeting? I bet these hedge funds are actually shorting the stock to try to win the option, to try to keep it that way. And what happened is the people were like, you know what, forget this. Let's all put our money together and let's all buy the stock and drive up the stock, because now they're going to lose that money and we're going to make money on that stock and we're going to squeeze them out. And so now the price should be rise. So they started buying the stock, but the people now started having a majority of the holdings. Whereas before, the retail sector had a little bit of the holdings and the hedge funds had all these stocks. But the people started saying, no, let's buy. And now, to keep the price back in the money or in the range was now very expensive. So now, every month that price was out of the money for them, these hedge funds were losing billions of dollars. I mean, they were just losing money hands over foot, and to this, and to this day, some of them are still losing money. Every day that it was high above that option line, they were just losing money every single day, because they don't just buy options every 30 days, but there's options that expire every 3 days and every 2 weeks and so forth and so on. And that's how it works. So these people were just losing, hedge funds were losing. They were like, oh my gosh, what do we do? What do we do? And the only thing they could do to keep price from going to the moon was, government stuff, like with the courts and everything. They were trying to close people's Robinhood accounts. They did that, and that's a whole nother can of worms. But they also had to keep doubling down, which means they had to buy more to try to sell more. So they would buy and try to sell more, or try to dump more of their holdings to try to create a bear market. So the more they sold, the more they lost in some instances. And sometimes they had to buy. Now, what happened is, there's a third element to this too. When it started going out of the money, now they're so out of the money that these options that they bought on margin, which means that they borrowed money to buy these options. Okay, so they borrowed money to buy these loans. So they basically took loans to buy these options. And now it makes it so worse, because now they're losing money, because the option, they have to now pay it back. They only have a certain amount of time to pay it back before those options expire out of the money. But because they're bought on margin, they have to now liquidate their holdings, which means they have to buy and not be able to sell. Okay, so they have to buy back their positions, because they were betting that price goes down. Okay, so when they buy that put option, they're betting price goes down, and they don't have to just, when the 30 days is up, they have to pay. Now, they don't have to just pay with money. They can actually pay with the stock itself. Okay, so this is another element. You can actually pay with the stock if you own the stock. Now, because they own the stock, they're able to pay with the stock, which means if they're betting it goes down, they have to close out their short position. And how do you close a short position? You buy, which means that the little guys who were buying, they knew that their stocks were going to have to be liquidated. So automatically buying comes into the market. Basically, they were able to predict, hey, if we just buy enough, these guys are going to be squeezed out. Now we're squeezing them. So by us buying, we're squeezing out the hedge funds, and they're being forced to have to sell. They're being forced to have to buy, because they were shorting it against the regular people. Okay, so that's what they did. They got shorted. They were trying to short, but now they have to close their position by buying, and by buying they drive up the price, and it makes things even worse for them. So they hate regular people knowing what stocks they're targeting, and they hate being short squeezed, because it's just a transfer of money. And in some degrees, it's good you guys hear this, because what I just said right now, it's good you heard that, because in some ways, we're going to have another conversation about this maybe a year down the road, and we're going to talk about all the things we discovered about them short squeezing cryptocurrencies, which I believe is happening to a degree. But that is short squeeze in a nutshell, and that took a long time for me to learn. I think I spent like over a year reading this. Yes. Oh.
So that was the abbreviated version of the explanation?
Yeah. The more.
I was wondering
Sorry.
Get on that one day.
Yeah, no, I understood it perfectly. I think I've seen examples of it. I just didn't know that that's what it was called. I have some limited experience with options, expirations, and stuff like that relative to oil stocks and small cap gold stocks. Like back in
Have you seen
2008
that?
when I first got started.
Have you seen that TV show, Jamal, The Gilded Age? Have you seen it?
Sounds familiar.
The Gilded Age. It's a new American TV show. And it kind of deals with that back in the 1850s. It's quite interesting. It's a TV show about how the wealthy were living back then, how much money they had. It's crazy. Some of the wealth some of them guys, J.P. Morgan and all had back then. And how they lived, how them people lived. It's unbelievable. Like butlers and these people done nothing for themselves. I swear that some of them people never made a sandwich. Wouldn't know how to make a sandwich.
Probably not. Guys, there's so much money in the world. I mean, it is a game. It's a game. If you learn how to play it, you know, and you play it long enough, you're gonna win. You're gonna start winning. I didn't.
Thank you for the encouragement. Couple of double ups this week, couple of double ups next week.
Hopefully.
Did you say double ups?
Yeah.
Meaning like
That's not like that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, put 100 in, get 100 out, yeah. Do that a few times and you're laughing.
when you start doing that on a very high level, if you're trading with hundreds of thousands and you're being consistent, I mean, it can pay off in a while. Enough for you. Yeah.
You know you've made it when you worry about the liquidity.
Yeah.
You know you've made it.
Yeah, and it's crazy what they do, guys. They do a lot of crazy stuff to us, and they've been playing these games for years. When I first started studying,
It's like you, Jim, I suppose it's like you being AMC and me being Netflix and us getting together and starting a rumor that AMC and Netflix is going to partner and you're going to be able to watch your favorite show in the cinema, and then in the meantime you've told somebody like Jamal to buy shorts on AMC because it's going out of business. So there's a load of short signs. These people are buying it, and the next minute it wicks right up to $10, $15, and all the shorts are taken out of it. So all that money's gone. But it's not gone. It's just in someone else's pocket.
that's all it is. It just transfers.
That's why you gotta follow the money.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a game. You learn how it flows. You can get ahead of the curve. That's what we do with price maps, right? You start looking and seeing where the money's supposed to be flowing, and if you can get in the flow of the money, you can position yourself. If you're out of the flow of the money, you have to be patient. You have to wait. That the big boys, the big whales, they play the real long-term games, but some of the positions are very, very lucrative positions. And you guys, I'm not saying study options. Options are complicated. I used to get so many headaches when I was in high school. When I was I think I was just graduated high school when I started going to the library and picking up options books. And I would only be able to read a few pages at a time, and I'd be like, oh, my head hurts. Oh, what is happening? I don't get it. I don't get it. It took a long time to understand, like. But if you look at it like a game, everything like a game, you start realizing, hey, I know what they're doing. Wait a minute. And then, and even then, regular people can't trade options unless you have, years of experience with the brokerage or something. It's weird. Luke, let's read the Bible, and then we'll end for today. And you guys, we can continue to have a conversation about it. Let's read Luke chapter 24. Begin our day, or for you guys, you're going to begin your day. Me, I'm going to be ending my day with the Word of God. Luke chapter 23. We're going to start with verse number 18. Jesus was just led forth from Pilate. Pilate was now before the people. We gave a special message about that in our last dive on Saturday. Verse 18, but they all cried out together, away with this man, and release to us Barabbas. Pilate had presented Jesus before them and said, do you want me to release for you Barabbas? Or do you want me to release for you this man who hasn't done anything? your king. And the people were like, Barabbas, we only have one king. That king is Caesar. In a way, with this man, verse 19, a man who had been thrown into prison for an insurrection and started in the city for murder. So this man was wanted for murder, and he started an uprising, justifying that murder, saying, hey, we need to go against the Roman government at this time, and we need to do it. And people wanted him. Pilate addressed them once more, desiring to release Jesus. So again, Pilate had a change of heart because of his wife, because of his own convictions. He may not have felt like he was under the authority, but I believe in many ways that Pilate accepted that Jesus was a king. And when he written, we find this later on when he wrote what he wrote. But if you listen to this, it says this: he desired to release Jesus. A third time he said to, desiring to release Jesus, but they kept shouting, crucify, crucify, crucify him. A third time he said to them, why? What evil has he done? I have found no guilt in him deserving death. I will therefore punish him and release him. But they were urgent, demanding with loud cries that he should be crucified. See, the whipping wasn't enough. The whipping of Jesus wasn't enough. The crown of thorns wasn't enough for the people. It wasn't enough that they punished him. And Pilate's trying to get out of this mess. But the people, they want the blood. Remember what they said in the other scriptures? They said his blood. We'll read it. They don't say it in this one. I think it's like in Matthew or John. It says that the people said, fine, it'll be on us. His blood cover us and our children. That's what the people said. Now, prophetically, that's actually a good thing, because we needed the blood of Jesus to cover us and to take our place. But the people didn't really know what they were doing. They didn't really know who they were crucifying. Now, it says, but they were urgent, demanding with their loud cries that he should be crucified, and their voices prevailed. Verse 24. So Pilate decided that their demands should be granted. He released the man who had been thrown into prison for insurrection and murder, for whom they asked. But he, Jesus, delivered over to their will. As they led him away, they seized one Simon of Cyrene, who was coming in from the country, and they laid upon him the cross, trying to carry it behind Jesus. And there followed him a great multitude of people and women who were mourning and lamenting for him. But turning, Jesus said to them, daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. For behold, the days are coming, when they will say, blessed are the barren and the wombs that never bore. Blessed are the breasts that never nursed. Then they will begin to say to the mountains, fall on us, and the hills, cover us. For if they do these things when the wood is green, what will happen when it's dry? Meaning, right now, you're still safe. These are the younger times. The judgment of this world has not fallen upon. But if they are saying these things now, what will happen during the judgment that is to come? Now, we're going to stop there for just a moment, but I'm still going to remind everybody, there's a lot of areas where people fall on the biblical spectrum. And one of the most extreme ideas to ever come about was something that we had a private discussion about. It was a very interesting idea. And there are a few Christians who have spoken about a very strong possibility that there was a time of judgment that happened in Jesus's day. For example, in the Bible, that Jesus said, there are some of those who will stand here and this generation will not pass until you see the coming of the Son of Man in the clouds in the sky. There are ancient pictures that have been found of Jesus in the sky during the days of Nero. Some people believe that Nero was one of the first or the main Antichrist that was during that time. And the Bible speaks about a final judgment, or a judgment that would come in the book of Revelations, and that there would be a judgment that would fall upon the whole world, and there would be blood all over the land, and there would be a great judgment. And after this judgment, the Son of Man, Jesus, would appear in the clouds of the sky and bring forth the judgment. But after this time, there would be 1,000 years of peace. And in that 1,000 years of peace, after the end of that 1,000 years, the Bible tells us that the enemy, Satan, will be released once again upon the earth to deceive mankind. And everything that he did before, he would try basically to do again. The earth would continue in those days. After that time where Satan is released upon the earth to try to deceive the world one more time, there will be a final judgment on this world. And in that judgment would be a time where all the evil would go away. And then the Bible says, and behold, there was a new heaven and a new earth. And the Bible tells us how the meek inherit the earth. Now, what I'm about to say, I won't spend too much time because we've talked about some of these things before, but it's a very interesting subject, and I like to throw it out there. Because Jesus was talking about these women like, this is something you're going to experience. There's going to come a time when this great judgment is going to happen. But people who look back now in history, we don't see that. We don't see that anything's happened. However, I will say this. There has been so much in history that has been taught to us that is incorrect. All over America, and in fact the world, there seems to be some kind of great catalysm that happened that was not the flood of Noah. We have evidence for the flood of Noah, but we don't understand why there's melted buildings all over the world. We don't understand how cities were inherited, such as New York. If you go to New York, and they see these beautiful buildings, and they try to tell the construction of them, but they cannot explain why these buildings are still having houses and windows underneath the ground. It's almost as if all over the world we're finding cities like in Salt Lake City and all these beautiful evidences for a great civilization that once existed. Some people call it Tartaria. And for those, if you guys want to look on that subject on the internet, it's a deep, great, fun subject. Advanced technologies that they had back in the day. Evidences for electric vehicles everywhere, electric lighting systems, abandoned cities all over the world, abandoned cities in immaculate condition. Star forts all around America that we just find buried in the ground, like buried. We're taught that there was just, we were monkeys. We came from monkeys. We were taught that there were just Indians saying how and living in teepee tents. And yet we find evidences for these beautiful civilizations that it looks like we didn't have time to build. There in the history books that we're taught that we built these entire cities within 3 years with beautiful stone carvings, beautiful statues. We had to destroy buildings because we couldn't even clean them, and we're telling people that we built them. These things appear to contradict the evidences of all the buried cities underground, as well as the historical and photo documents. Meaning what's in our history and textbooks is very, very interesting. There is some Christians who have been studying these things and putting the puzzle pieces together, and there appears to be a great discrepancy on where we are in the biblical timeline. It is possible that there was 1,000 years reign of Christ on the earth a long time ago. Many of the people who lived to talk about this in the documents seem to be of historical records of asylums, seem to be the survivors of the people at the end of this 1,000-year reign. And this 1,000-year reign seems like it may have even happened on the earth. And again, I'm just throwing these ideas out, letting you know some of them. In the 1,000-year reign, the beautiful castles that we're told are insane asylums were actually castles. And that's where they were put. And anyone who tried to talk about religion or anything was eventually, hushed, shut up. the bankers, the elitists, they begin to take over the world. The merchants of the world begin to take over the world. And the version of history we're taught in our textbooks and it doesn't match what we see in nature. It doesn't match what we see buried. It doesn't match all the melted buildings. It doesn't match all the Tartaria evidences around the world. And just so much evidence for Tartaria in every city in America. Even here, I went to the Philippines. There's some cats outside. I went to the Philippines and I said, Melody, look at that building up there. That building is Tartaria. And I bet there's some buried stuff underground. And you can actually see where it just goes right underground. And I said, look at that city. That city does not match the rest of this city. That city is ancient. I bet if we look closely, you're going to see marble, beautiful statues on top. Nobody carves those. Who has time to carve those? But people did. Some ancient people all over the world. A city, a world of peace. And I believe, personally, I'm starting to believe it. And I just throw that idea. You guys don't have to believe it. But it lends credence to the thought of where we are in biblical timeline. Satan may have been released in the timeline that we believe is the correct timeline is not really the correct timeline. On ancient coins where it says like 1770 or 14 something, it'll say like 1452 or 15 something. That number 1 is not really 1. It's an I, meaning in the year of our Lord and Savior 540. That whole timeline of what they actually say is correct. There's evidence that it's not correct, and there's people that will heftily debate that the timelines are not right. They don't match. And it's a very interesting subject to even look in. But if it's true, then that means we may be in the areas where there's a final judgment, where we're looking for Satan to be destroyed. We're looking for God to reign and bring his kingdom upon the earth once and for all. Not just a 1,000 years of peace as described in Revelations. Because if that's the case, then we're going to be in heaven waiting for another 1,000 years. And then after that, there'll be a people who will be tempted by the Lord, or by Satan, sorry. But it's very possible that we are of those people that have had these things hidden from us. And we're at the end of that biblical timeline. And again, everything's going to play out like it did before. Another Antichrist. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything that's happened, as Solomon said, it's going to happen again. It is very interesting that these things may actually be true. I can't prove them. I can't prove them at all. But I can give you some windows if you want to start looking. Some of those subjects are Tartaria, and that time of peace that was just seemed to be for 1,000 years, what we call the Renaissance period, in the Dark Ages. Some of those are mixed timelines that really are very are not exactly what they said. So anyway, I'm gonna throw those ideas and thoughts out there, and we can always have fun conversations in the future about that. Let's say a prayer. Lord Jesus, wherever we are at in our timeline, we know one thing. We know that you're coming back. We know one thing, that you reign on the earth. We know that you are going to win the end of the story. And the Bible tells us in the book of Revelation that Satan and the Antichrist, the beast, were thrown into the lake of fire, and they were destroyed, never to be released again. Now, if we're in the beginning of the timeline, praise God. We want to be raptured by you. If we're at the end of our timeline, praise God. We want to be caught up with you on the final day, whether it's before tribulation, in the middle, or after the tribulation. It's not important. What's important is we keep our eyes on you, and we are ready, as you told us, because we do not know when the day or the hour when the judgment will happen. We don't know all the exact details of how it will happen, but we do know the end of the book tells us that that time of 1,000 years and Satan releasing will happen. And if it already has happened and we're living in that time where Satan is upon the earth trying to deceive us, then let us not be deceived, because we remember you. We have your word. Your word has endured. Your spirit is alive, and you are alive. You are alive in us, and we are the body of Christ, and your spirit is in us. And we thank you, Lord. We know in part, we see in part, we prophesy in part. We know a lot of things in pieces. And yeah, we've been deceived in a lot of things. They tried to change our history books right in front of our faces, and some of us have even fought at city council meetings to try to keep the true histories that we know. They've tried to tell us that we have a very racist history. They try to tell us many things. They try to tell us and change the very definitions of things right in front of our faces, of man and woman. When you said that you created man, male and female, he created them. Our very history books are trying to be changed in front of our faces. They tried to alter our DNA in front of our faces. They tried to alter the cows in front of our face. They tried to alter the DNA of animals and mosquitoes. They tried to make abominations upon the earth. They are doing these things in front of our faces. It is possible, Lord, that they've already just done many things in the past to keep us from knowing what we really are and who we really are on this earth, how we belong to you, our history in you. And what you did and all the whole world was pointing to you. The whole world knew of you. As the word of God says, they would all be taught of by God. Lord, I would love, Lord, to be in those days. But I'm here in this moment. And we see all the evil around us. We keep our eyes, Lord, on the prize. We keep our eyes on the future. And if it's been taken from us, then reveal it back to us. Whatever the case is, we trust in you. We lead you. We live in you as you lead us. We put our faith in you. We don't waver from that faith. We bury ourselves in your under your wings, Lord, like your baby hens. As you said, "Oh Jerusalem, Jerusalem, how I wish to gather you like a hen gathers her chicks." Lord, under your wings, Lord, we are safe in the shadow of your wings from all manner of evil. You will guard us, Lord. You will protect us. You will be the wall of fire around us. Be the wall of fire around them.
Yes.
Love them, Lord. Lord, I pray that you will continue to reveal secrets. Maybe things we're ready for, maybe things we're not ready for. But reveal in your timing.
Yes.
And I pray that all of the truth comes out. Whatever the truths are, Lord, I pray that you walk with us through it, Lord. You know what we can handle. You know what we can't handle. You know how we can be deceived, Lord. We don't know all the truth, Lord, but we want to find you, Lord, and we love you through it all. Through it all, we trust you. You know what's best for us. Get us through these days, Lord. Get us through the dark times. Let us enter the light. In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. I'll be right back, team. Let's cue the outro music.